I'm going to give you another tool today. And this is going to be consistent of some power that's going to help you. And in exchange, all I ask for you to do is go ahead and like this audio, share it, and subscribe it. And if you will, go ahead and contribute so that I can keep this boat moving. And take a look at that book that I have available for you. Other than that, you're going to get some benefit from what I'm going to tell you today. You know that I am the professor here at the Academy of Wowmen. And a lot of you know me as Leon C, aka Morpheus. Today I'm going to transform. Today I expect, you see the words I'm using, follow my words. I expect that I'm not going to offend anyone. And I'm going to do the best that I can to use my language when I'm speaking to you so you will know the lignity and how I switch things together and how I do not use the common languages such as hope, belief, and I feel are emotions, and someone else said. Okay? And there's a part of me that I haven't said too much about, and I think I'm gonna break it down a little bit. Things about being alpha. And you don't necessarily have to be alpha to think like this or to use these tools that I'm going to give to you. All you need to do is be yourself, be honest, be straightforward, and be what you are supposed to be. When I deal with someone, I wanted to think of some of the key things that I use and why I act the way that I act, and what is this energy that calls me to want to be number one all the time. And in my self-discovery, I realized that it wasn't that I want to be number one all the time. And it's not that I walk around and I beat on my chest. And this sort of thing I'm going to introduce to you. It's not as if you don't know already, right? Is what makes low profile, low hanging fruit people disappointed and not want to hang around me. This is what causes them to say that I am bullheaded, I'm too difficult to deal with, are their classic words. He is weird. He's awkward. He's a stranger. He is different. And also it has the same when I'm dealing with my clients, when I'm dealing with children, when I'm talking to people, because I'm a free man. And what that means is I don't sign on to contracts. Not married. I'm not affiliated with any type of movement at all. I'm Morpheus. You know, the definition of Morpheus is being completely free from the matrix and this deliverer messenger of wisdom. I did a little definitions on what Webster Dictionary said about Morpheus. It's a very interesting thing. This messenger come to you in your dreams, but this isn't dream. This is reality. If anything, it will be the voice of a God, which is to come to awaken you and make you aware of your circumstances, should you receive the message or not. And I have been able to see people for who they are, and it's a very disturbing thing for me because it leaves me to be, it it actually makes me to be the alpha that I am. It helps me to stand out above the rest of them. It shows me that I am a fish not in the pond where I'm supposed to be, and that I am one of the unique ones, and I don't do it myself. I just don't go around and pretend to be someone that I'm not. If you're going to exceed, if you're going to be an overachiever, you just naturally do it because of your standards. And my standards are also real. My standards is something that many people just do not have, because we are living in a time that people are so low in performance. They're so lackluster in concentration. There's so much in the dream world where we have a ability today. We are enabled to visualize just how stoic in a stalemate that humanity is in. And it will take generations. It will take a couple of generations for us to turn our mentality around due to the factors that we have allowed ourselves to be misled by bad leaders, by trifling thinking parents, by lazy generations who was so spoon-fed and had a pillow underneath their head every moment of the time, where the accountability is so far-fetched, it's so far away, where it will take the system around us in order to enlighten and to install the true meaning of existence for these newer up and coming children. I feel for them because they are at the end results. No telling what the generation is going to be thereafter today or tomorrow and the future. But the ones who you witness today that we see, where the Pampers is still on them. You know, the conditions are so bad, and I don't mind family sticking together. Family is a very important thing. But you still have grown children, grown kids, and some adults with conditions that really do not have an option but to live with their parents to a later age of their life, within their 30s, and some pushing even 40 years old, still in the basements of their parents' house, are still just living with their parents. And mind you, it's good if it was a traditional practice for the parents or the family itself. It's good that your family is underneath one roof. We should stick together, help out each other in times of need, or if that's just our family. But as I have studied and being around, that's not generally the case. Usually the mother and the father really don't want their child to be there like that, unless that mom or dad is particularly bored with themselves and they have no motivation at all. They have no intentions of making themselves better. There are women that I have conversations with, and they are of the age of 40, 50, 60 some years old. Most of them around between 40 and 60, where they will have their oldest or even their youngest living with them, and they're fine. They're okay with that. They're okay because what type of future do they have to look forward to? Because these women that I speak to psychologically during my evaluations and conversations, it's always going to be an interview. Always. When I speak to people, it's an interview. It's not a conversation. Because I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to study, because it's a good enlightenment to comprehend the atmosphere of the, encompassing environment a lot easier through someone else's eyes. And when I interview an individual, they actually speak the truth as to what every other red pill or YouTuber is saying, and I see it before my face. So it goes contrary to when you or even myself will hear someone say, well, you don't listen to anybody on YouTube because everybody has their own opinion. Everybody is coming from a different perspectives, and there's just some people who just are over dramatic. When I hear that, I'm listening to someone who wants to be asleep. This is an individual who, like in the Matrix, that guy, can't quite remember his name was, because to me he was just a cop out and a traitor, but I understand, who spoken with Mr. Smith and made a deal with him and told Mr. Smith, well, he will sell out Neo as long as Mr. Smith abided by certain contract deeds and give him the blue pill and connect him back to the machine. Well, at least he negotiated with him. At least he came up with a negotiation. It's one thing to just apply yourself to a system of work, life, function, marriage, family, whatever. It's one thing to just apply yourself and you go along with the program, but it's something totally different when you negotiate. I can respect that. When you negotiate, that's, all power to you, because that means you have some standards somewhere and you have something that you want to get out of it. And that's a golden rule of honor. Right? But there are some people who don't want to do that. There are some people who just want to think that everyone who's teaching and speaking is out of their mind. There's even those who even may consider me to be somewhat pessimistic, somewhat too serious, a person who brings a dark cloud over your happy day. Well, I've seen things that a lot of people have not seen. I've seen reality, and I accept things for not what they are. For one thing, I know what they are. And yes, to a percentage, I do accept it for what it is, because you don't want to change it. You want to go with the flow of it, because that allows you to see what the situation is before you are able to manipulate it and change the course, right? And to defend yourself. And if you see something coming at you, you're able to prepare yourself for it. You see evil coming, you know how to deal with evil. So it's best to see it for what it is and not try to transform your vision. That's basically what I'm saying. But there is a time and a place for everything. I do have my time when I'm joking, playing, laughing or something like that, doing sports in the gym. But when I'm teaching, I take life and my teaching seriously in my academy, because we've been so lackluster, lazy, and we compromise value and real knowledge and success for a very plush, comfortable lifestyle, to the point where everything we have now is so push button sensitive. I can't even go further with the words I really want to say. Retard, meaning you slow down. That's not a person. Retard is an action and a condition. That means you slow down. You prohibited of moving forward, or you're restricted of a certain access. And so you're not moving as fast as you need to be moving. So when I say retard, that's what I relate it to. Retard people who are insignificant in their own activities and in their way, to the point where they are a problem for you and your world. I can't tell you how many times when I am driving on the road to get to my meetings or to go to one location to the next, and there's always going to be a few people who wants to drive 5 or 10 miles underneath the speed limit. Now, I stand on safety. It has more to do than just the law or what they think the limitations and things are. No, I see the safety behind it. All right. I see the logic behind a certain action. So I comprehend that you need to be at a certain pace when you're driving past a school zone, when you're around pedestrians, when you're in a residential area or a city. That's common sense that I have. I'm not the type of person where I got to look around and be led by the noose by other people telling me how fast or what I should do. OK, that doesn't mean that I drive, way above the speed limit either. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's so many people who will look around while they're driving and they wait for a sign instead of using their own common sense because they don't have it. Or they look around and wait for somebody to tell them to do something, to tell them to do or what they cannot do. And so they'll go that far, almost looking left and right instead of looking forward in front of them, because they can't leave themselves. They're not at their best. They're not their best self. They are the weakened version of themselves because they never have taken power like they should have and taken power and control of their own life since they were little kids, because they never questioned, never thought about, what am I doing? If that were different, then why would we be in the society that we live in today? Why do we got so much laziness, lackluster, discompassionate, discombobulated, unbalanced mentalities from trifling retard people? Okay, the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree, even though you may have the minority of them who have their mind in a senseful place. You have more people with a mind in a senseless place. Because being lazy and comfortable in ignorance is an easy thing. And so therefore, most times these people are the very ones who are driving in front of you are behind you. And so, due with all respects of safety, most times I do my evaluation even while I'm driving. Yes, I focus, but I have to know who this moron is. Driving in between the lanes, not using a turn signal. And why are they driving dangerously slow? It's one thing to drive slow because you are, you're just like 2 or 5 miles below the speed limit or something like that, or you are at the speed limit and everyone else may be doing 2 or 3 or 5 over. Then it may look like that you're going slow. So therefore, I chalk it all up and I say, well, I can comprehend this. So I ease up next to them as I'm focusing forward. And you would be surprised, Neo. You will be surprised that these people, they are of various age ranges. Some of them, I'm not even going to tell you about who these people are. Some of them can be elderly, and yes, some of them are. Okay, most of us, we're not stupid. This isn't the first time that we've complained about a slow elderly person, okay, in the passing lane or even in the middle lane. This isn't the first time. Okay, there's more elderly people that are driving as if they are scared to push the gas pedal because they're going to break their toe, okay, than there is anyone else. But besides just them on the road, there are still many other people, young and old, where you look over and wonder, what are they on? What's in their mind? Why are they driving like this? What's bothering them? Are they distracted? You'll see the car swerve over right on the lane and then get right back in between the lines. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on with this guy? At least I asked. I don't know about you, but I asked that question. That's usually what I want to work, because I like to learn. They're in an interview and don't know it. And so discovery is this. Discovery is that there are more people that are on some type of undercover and over-the-counter medication. And they are so dumbed down and vaccinated. They are so dipped into the machine of ignorance and weakened performance, where they have no gumption, no performance. They have no type of forward momentum in their life, where they're practically a hindrance to everybody around them, and they are a danger. They are a danger to you, to your families, to the bus drivers, to the truck drivers, to everybody else on the road. And what makes it worse is that these people, when they do decide to switch in your lane or someone else's, they'll do it at the last minute, where that person who's driving can almost ram in back of them and cause that car to spin out and do 360. But yet, good enough that the people are paying attention, where they have to jam on their brakes and honk their horn. And of course, you got a disgruntled driver who really wants to get out of the car and throttle. And I don't blame him for doing so, because that at least awaken the driver in front of him from being stupid. But they do it all the time. It's not advised to do it. But if that were an open thing, there will be more people who are focusing on driving and take it seriously than those who think that they are in some type of entertainment plastic computer that are just lackadaisical and think the road is all about fun and games, and it's not. And that is another reality check right there, because we are in such a passive, weak generation with passive, weak people, where there aren't many consequences. Yeah, the cop's going to pull you over. For sure, you get a ticket for reckless driving, of course. or you end up in a 360 crash, or your car will end up upside down. But the consequence of an angry driver getting out of the driver's seat and pulling you out of yours is very little to almost none anymore. So the disrespect and the safety precautions aren't even followed like it need to be. And the bigger thing about it is you putting somebody else's life in jeopardy, or their children in the back of the car, or someone who's just, it's their birthday, or they might be carrying very precious cargo, and you get this moron who want to drive right on the front of you and look at you like you stupid, but they're in the wrong. And they get away with it because they know there's too many things to back them up to be this ignorant driver. When if all gloves was off, you hear me, and if all boundaries was loosened up, those people will not be on the road longer, and they will become extinct because there'll be more people who aren't going to tolerate the stupidity, retard behavior of today's common person. But we tolerate it, we deal with it, and the collisions happen, stupid situations occur because we're sorry. Not sorry as in we're sorry of our condition, no, we're sorry because we're sad, weak individuals. Okay, that's an addition to this lesson, but I know that many of you think the same way. Or you can say, for some of you women, I know that you feel that way as well, because it happens all the time. And what makes it bad, and I'm going to get on to this next subject, is those very same people act like they don't know where they are. They're on the road. Okay, listen, you're on the road. You got a GPS on your car and on your phone. You got Google Maps on your car and on your phone. You got signs overhead on the right side of the ramps, and sometimes on the left, depending on where you are in some cities, Georgia, I think Chicago, some up north. And still, these people act like they don't know where they are while they're driving. Okay, this is something that I do not tolerate, and it's a shame that the restraints are there, because they would not exist. It just would not. The tolerance is zero. I have zero tolerance, but everybody else tolerates it, so they get away with it. But I'm using this as an example to let you know that this isn't just automobile driving. This type of mentality isn't just the road. This is how people think in their everyday life. These are people that are actually around you. They make your products. They deliver your products. They are around your country. They deliver your food, make your food. They're in the warehouses. They are the ones who make decisions sometimes as to how the country is running, what decisions that we make in our country, and some of the vital decisions with our future children. And here's your answer. You wonder why we are so distorted, like we are in a swamp. Because those same people are the lacklusters who will sit down on a lounge chair and say, well, I don't care. People are talking real stuff on YouTube, but they're just being overly dramatic. I'm just going to sit here and smoke my blunt, and I'll think everything is okay. Until they're on the side of the road in a stretcher, and their car is unrecognizable, and so are them and their face. Until that happens, everything is just lackadaisical. I've seen too many of the unrecognizable situations to take it like it's a game, because it's not. So I have a good reason to be serious in my discussions, because these are only various warnings and caution signs that we need to pay attention to, because when we're at the crossroad, it will not be given to us. When those situations are there, we are going to be praying that there is an existent gesture and some God somewhere who will deliver us or put our backbone back together. So here's your Shangri-La. I made the path for you, and I know it took 24 minutes and 27 seconds. But that's okay, because that's how I teach. Getting back to myself, being the no-nonsense, straightforward, zero-tolerance individual, it's not being hard up. No, It's not being unique amongst the rest of them. Absolutely not. And nor is it me looking at myself as greater than anything or anyone. I equalize myself and I make things simple. The problem is people talk. That's right. The headliner of your entire audio here is talk is cheap. And with this comes too many things. It comes too many people, too many friends, too many organizations, too many marches, too many promises of a future, too many acceptances of feelings and emotions that have been thrown at us. And what has been used is their backing of other people who aren't you. For example, I like it when, and it chuckles me. I was in the gym the other day and I was training one of my clients. You know, he was doing like the back press. And they have like several TVs in there. And in one of the TVs, there was a commercial that came on and I was able to hear it, which was amazing outside of the sound of the treadmills and the machines and the clinging and clanging of dumbbells. And this is not an attack on the business industry. I understand that they do that to promote their products. But a lot of people just don't think between the lines. We don't concentrate on ourselves because we love being cow, just mooing along and chewing grass. And it takes an elevated person to listen to what's being said and to rethink this thing. So what they'll say is, or what they said I'm not going to say what the commercial was, okay, because I don't want to do them like that. But they will always say this, well, you know, this car has 5-star ratings and is backed up by J.D. Power and Associates. Have you ever heard that before? J.D. Power and Associates. You know, this is supported and certified by J.D. Power and Associates. J.D. Power and Associates. When you, as a sales pitch, that's actually saying, well, you should trust us because J.D. Power and Associates says that this car is great. This car has been certified. This car has quality. You know, that's just like a job or people who are getting hired on. You got this Angie's List thing, right? You know, this company, you know, this organization, you know, this business over here, you know, it's great because it's on Angie's List. It get 5 stars on Angie's List, right? Or you'll see even let's go further with some type of other advertisement. You say, well, I'll give it 5 stars, you know, 5 stars here, 5 stars, right? It's the same thing, but I like to get back to the certification of the, you know, JD Hunt Associate type of thing. And it's not an attack on them. I'm not saying that they're doing their job wrong. It's not about them. This is about the advertisement itself as how you live in your life. Because I know they got a business to run. Okay. But the ideal of it is this. How is anyone going to tell me and try to certify something or overlook something according to what my standards and what I think a product is? That's where I get at. See, this is what angers me as alpha, because I'm the front runner here and I'm not the one sitting there approving this thing, but because someone else approves it, I'm supposed to buy it and accept it. Think about that for a moment. Because you say, well, Dr. Kovac said that this is good for you to do, so we're going to implement it and say it's good for you to do because that's what Dr. Kovac said. I never met Dr. Kovac since I was an adolescent. And I remember a lot of things since I was 2 years old, and I never met a Dr. Kovac. Okay. You say, well, you met him when you was 1 year old. You know, just shut up. Anyway. But the affiliation between me and Dr. Kovac is from 2 different planets. So because Dr. Kovac probably studied anatomy, you know, nature or whatever that their profession may be, and because there's a DR in front of Dr. Kovac's name, I'm supposed to immediately listen to what Dr. Kovac said. That's how I am as Alpha. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because of what? Oh, this is, you know, Dr. Kovac said that, you know, you're supposed to take care of this year. It's good for you to sleep like it's good for you to, the excuse, talk. The hell, right? And the only thing I hear is, well, Dr. Kovac said. Dr. Kovac is not my God. Okay, let's make something very clear. He's not God, and definitely not my God. I don't worship people, and I worship nothing. So therefore, it don't matter to me whether he's Dr. Kovac or Plumber Kovac or Chef Kovac or Cook Kovac or Nurse Kovac. You understand? Or Janitor Kovac. It's still going to be to me, you are Mr. Kovac, not Dr. And like it means something to me, like I'm supposed to just bend over backwards, because is this person that decided to spend 10 or more years in some type of profession to know something, when I've spent 10 or 11 years being myself, and I still probably have just as much as more as he do. Like myself, not books. I know me. I know my own anatomy. I know my chemistry. I know what I'm made of, and I know what I'm all about. But because they say, well, Dr. Kovac said I'm supposed to immediately jump and let you inject me with your poison just because he's a doctor. It's funny how we always relate that. It's funny how it's always that way where, well, JD Power and Associates said that this car gets 5 stars, and I see the car. This car is a pile of junk. This car don't even last for a good 3 years before the plastic upholstery start falling out of the interior. This car don't even last 3 or 4 years before the powertrain start loosening up, making mistakes, leaking oil, right? We got all these plastic injections inside the engine, computerized start-stop retard material for retard people. Right? Things I didn't even sign up for. I didn't agree upon, but it's out here for sale. And because it's backed up by, JD Power and Associates, it is approved. But yet I wasn't there doing the destruction phase. I wasn't there doing the concept phase. I wasn't there where they say, you know what, Mr. Morpheus, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Well, if I'm standing there, then that might be a different story. Then I might be like, okay, well, me and JD Power Associates have agreed on this, and I think it's a really good machine, and I will accept it because I've seen how this cake was baked. I've seen how this pile of spaghetti, which to me is crap, okay, was created. Then maybe I might agree. But how am I going to be? I can't do it. I cannot be the person sitting at the dinner table and you go behind this black curtain. I don't know what the hell you doing. And it smells good. I can hear the chicken frying. I can hear all this clinging and clanging in the kitchen. Then you come back out and you got this plate full of hot food. It smells good. It looks good. And you're supposed to say, well, eat up. Eat up. So this right here makes me smarter than the average dodo bird, because what I do is I say, wait a minute, wait. Yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But how did you make this? What did you put in it? Because for generations and for decades, this has been done and people has been sick. People have been purchasing and buying planned obsolescent junk. People have been dealing with all kind of disappointed created products. All right. And oftentimes you find yourself with cancer somewhere in the future, or diabetes because there's too much sugar in it, or it's a different type of sugar. Do you understand that there's different ways to sweeten up a piece of candy? Do you understand? There's more than one way. There's more than one way to make sweetness. There's chemical ways. There's modified ways. You got stevia, you got cane sugar, natural sugar, right? You got corn fructose sugar. You got all kind of crazy type of sugar. You can even make it even sweet out syrup, brown sugar. It's so many ways to get that thing sweet. And it's there before you say, well, because it tastes sweet, I guess it's just sugar. And they can tell you anything. Well, this is natural sugar, but it's something that'll kill you in a matter of 2 years, right? This is equated and transformed to information. This is transformed to your lifestyle. This is transformed to basically everything that comes from the higher up or other places that you just buy and don't look into it and research. Basically, that's what that is. Just I'm using food as an example, as a metaphor. Okay. And so what ends up happening is eventually you end up with glitches in your life. You end up with trouble later on. You end up with heart palpitation. You end up with situations that you never knew was there because you don't know the root and the source of your problems. You don't know where it came from and how it was delivered to you and how you are embedded to believe that it is. Here's your word, believe, because all you can do is believe because you don't know. All you can do is believe you don't know. So you are embedded to believe that it's good for you because they say, well, it's been certified by JD and Power Associates. You're like, okay, sure. Okay. Ralph the dog. I'll go do it. And here you are, go purchase it. And you say, well, it's a good car because I heard it was certified and, it got a 5-star online and everybody else like it. But you purple, derple, like backwards walking on the moon, coming from space ace looking dude, okay, with a plunger up your, never been there, but yet you're gonna say okay, but you was never there at the discussion table. You was never there at the concept table. You was never there, and probably not even with your own personal tailoring in mind. Your own personal tailoring, because don't you know when something's created, it's not based on you and your concept and your tailored lifestyle. It's based on the majority of those same people driving on the road I just told you about, who is sleepy, lazy, lackluster, ridiculous, have no sense of self, okay, and is predominantly retarded by their own thinking. So that car, creation, food, or product is based on their stupidity. And who you are looking for higher performance, but you're getting this item based on how this have to be sold for everyone, not just you. And everyone is not like you. You are the minority that look for something better. Okay, but the majority of them are the ones who, oh, I want this car because it got a backup camera. Oh, it's government mandate. Sure, forget about looking in the rearview mirror because I can use my head. Push button. Oh, it's so easy. All these computers are so awesome until they all break down on you because you're so smart and you're not IT. You didn't go to college to learn computers like that. You probably went to college to do something else. And here you are, the car that you can't even get turned on because you thought it was so cool 10 years ago. Now it's a pile of junk. All because you're like, well, I'm just going to let them do it because they approved to do it. They said it was a good car. It got 5 stars, so I'm going to, Ralph the dog, I'm going to get it. I worked on somebody's car, and I think I told y'all about this, and I'm gonna put it out there. And I got it wrong. But I know a car was this time. It wasn't a Nissan. It was a Chevy. It was a Chevy Cruze. It wasn't a Nissan. I worked on one of the recent Chevy Cruze. I think it was a Chevy Cruze LS. And like I told you, this person busted their antifreeze. Antifreeze was leaking. It was overheating. Listen, this car is not that old. It's already overheating. Some of y'all don't get it. The car at this date, today, this is the 2020s. That car was nothing but, it was out like in 2016. It's not that old. And it already overheated. And it had nothing but 130 something thousand miles on it. I know some of you saying, well, maybe he didn't put any air, antifreeze in it, blah, 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 blah. This thing shouldn't have happened at all. When I looked at what the source of the problem was, they made a plastic box. They made it and put it so near the engine and actually put the antifreeze tube right in between on purpose. On purpose. To where that box cracked and busted antifreeze all over the place, as if Chevy didn't know that. As if it was I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and put a plastic piece right there in the middle of a hot engine. Plastic and heat, very intelligent from there. And I don't know. I'm not blaming it on any certification, but I'm pretty sure somewhere along the way, they probably used that same type of slogan. Well, it was certified by this. This car gets 5 stars. Go ahead and buy it. Go ahead. When I seen that catastrophe, I almost had kittens standing there. And I looked at the guy and said, did you just buy the car? You didn't think? No, Bert, I didn't think about it. It was just a nice light car, so small and cute. It's a Chevy Cruze. I'm like, oh, and you're a smart, intelligent being too, because you don't do your research and you waste money and you want me to come and fix it. I can't fix stupid. I don't fix stupid nor retard. I can't do it. It's a zero tolerance policy. I just look at you and let you suffer for being silly. But you'd be surprised that a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of automobiles are like that. Unless there's a lot of stuff that you have got plastic all in your engine. Plastic all in your engine. And when the time comes, it's going to break. And you're going to be sitting like, here we go. $500, $600, $800, $1,200 right back to the mechanic shop. And for most of you, to the dealership where they want you to be at anyway. Because you don't do the work yourself, nor do you research, because they say it's backed up by J.D. Power and Associates, as if they're the mechanics, as if they put the car together, as if they are you with your expectations. And then when it comes to home mechanics or other mechanics who are decent enough to know how to work on the car, who's J.D. Power and Associates? Be like, well, it's a good vehicle. Yeah, but is it user friendly? Can I get underneath it? Can I put my arms around the mechanical parts and work on it myself? Oftentimes you can't. Oftentimes the engine is so twisted, the alternator's in the wrong place, the power, the compressor is underneath all kind of framing, right? So you think, okay, so they wasn't thinking about you. All they was thinking about, oh, well, at least the car drives and it runs. We're going to say it's okay. And here you are suffering 5-10 years later. Because you sat back and you let somebody else think for you. Never let somebody think for you. Think for yourself. If you ain't there to approve it, and if it's not tailored to you, you need to be suspicious. If you have somebody spoon feeding you the whole time, making some, here you go. It's been certified by Dr. Mua. But who the hell is Dr. Mua? He ain't me, and he's not God. Just because he say it's okay, that don't mean I'm going to approve it myself and accept it, because he's not me and I am myself. I'm my own doctor. I know how I feel and how I function in my day, not Dr. Mua. He hasn't been with me 24 hours, 7 days a week. He don't know my angles, my problems, my stress, and my struggles. He don't know my spirit, nor do he know my goal of life. So why should I just say, oh, I'm going to jump and do it? Giving somebody access to your soul and the control of your consciousness. But that's what we do. Such good attributes from a so-called superior race of human beings, who is not a superior race, but a decline of intelligence. Now, let's break this down in this academy for those who are sensitive to learning and have a disability of absorbing information. What I mean is, you don't use those services of professionals or so-called people who have claimed to have done it for so many years for your first line of defense and of knowledge. You are to only understand where they come from, but yet use your self-learning, your own experience, and have control over your own life and know who you are and evaluate what you are taking into your viscera for yourself. You are to certify yourself and your products. You are to learn how to heal yourself. You are to know who you are. You are the one who should patent your own soul and your own flesh and your own identity. Therefore, whatever is being brought into you by any professional or those who claim to be certified by whatever, you evaluate it as if it is good or no good for you. You are not to just simply sit back and accept it just because it has come from somebody with experience, in which that is the case for so many people who need to be led by the noose because they have no identity for themselves, where they're always used to people doing for them just because they have a special name or because they are certified or because they have a badge. And so therefore, they allow themselves to be misled, and the argument will go, well, at least it has 5 stars. Oh, it's approved because, so-and-so from the so-and-so institution have agreed upon it. So I guess it must be good. And the end argument will be like, well, that's fine. But what do you think about the product? What do you think about this? How does it apply to you? Well, I don't know. I don't care. As long as Dr. So-and-so said it was all right. As long as it's been approved by J.D. Power Associate, I guess it should be okay. Moron. Empty. A vassal. Just something just the empty husk. A node at the end of a computer, the end of a computer terminal, where all you do is push a button and the signal go from one motherboard to the next. That's all that person is. And then they're the very same people to be like, well, I'm an individual. I'll be like, no, you are an automaton. You don't even know yourself. You have no type of girth, no type of filtering of whatever power information or whatever products come your way. Except whatever's whatever, just because. And you know what? It works out well, because otherwise, why are they doing it? And this is what leads us to our final chapter. And this is the Shangri-La. This is the entire purpose of this audio. This is what's going to tether into it. Okay? A lot of times people just go with the flow and they have no sort of knowledge that has been filtered through intelligence from the information that they have been bombarded with, because it's too comfortable to be lackluster and look the other way and allow people to think and formulate a plan for them, whereas individually they don't know how to formulate a plan for themselves. So therefore, action is something that is a lackluster. So it's people talking and not showing anything. It's a lot of talk and no show. All talk and no action is one of the biggest rules of mine in zero tolerances that I have been using as a red pill alpha. And it has worked quite well. If I don't use any other type of principle, if I knew nothing about the red pill, if I was never even Morpheus, if I wasn't as wise as I am today, just simply stating that action don't amount to a hill of beans. Talk don't amount to a hill of beans, but actions mean more than anything else, would pretty much save my life, and it may save yours. This filters out the BS versus what is versus what isn't. And this is how it happens. Through action. Words don't mean nothing to me. When I deal with most, if not everything in my world, it's all about action. Your words don't matter to any degree in my world. So how I evaluate my honor, my prospects, and the virtue of those who are around me is not by what they say, it's what they do. No matter what the debate, the argument, or the subject's about, all that goes through one of my ears and out the other. I'll smile at you, but what I will simply say is, well, let's do it. Let's get it done. That's what's up. What time of day is it? What are we going to do? What's the plan? Stop talking. Let's be about it. Be about what you're talking about. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't tell me about what you're going to do. Just do it. Don't tell me that this product is great. Let it be great on its own. Don't tell me that you need this to be certified by whoever the person is. I want to see it for myself. Let it speak for itself through its longevity, through its purpose, and through the energy that is able to provide me in my life, especially when it comes to relationship. Don't tell me that you love me. Don't tell me that you care about me. Don't tell me that you are supposed to be Eve made from my rib and you're going to be supporting me for the rest of my life. Don't tell me about it. Show me. Show me who you are. Don't tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Don't tell me you're certified because you was ordained by God. to be Eve, broken from my rib. Therefore, you're supposed to be made for me. No, show me that you made for me. Through longevity, through hard times, through suffering, through all the seasons that we have to deal with. Don't tell me, show me. Talk don't mean a pile of brown beans. Never did. All it is a small form of conveyance. It's the lowest form of energy. It's the weakest form of communication. And it is only for human beings because it's so insignificant. It is not the most powerful essence in the world. It is not the most powerful energy. Conversation and talking is communication, which communication is important, but it's the lowest form of power. Power is in action. Power is in movement. Power is in the activity of that subject or that product or that person who is actually communicating with you through action. Don't talk love to me. Act love to me. Show me, don't tell me. See, I don't get involved with anything because it's usually about nothing. There's been so many years and conversations about certain movements that I dare not describe or talk about right now. Any sort of liberations and how we're going to change the environment and promises here, promises there. And I don't even get into the politics for that particular reason, too. There's a lot of talk, a lot of babber, just blah, 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 blah. And all I hear is fanatical, enterprising, fancy, expensive words from fancy, expensive people with no means to create any type of action. That's all I ever hear. You know, that's all I've ever heard in the churches as well, is a pulpit pimp talking jabber, blibber, gibber, gibberish about nonsense stuff, mythical idea, and planter, manter, peanut butter, smeared junk on rusted, rotten pieces of bread to convince me that I'm not eating something that's going to make me sick, which is their words. When you eat up of empty words with no action, you'll find yourself becoming a zombiac. You'll find yourself being an insignificant person to yourself because you'll go by words and actions don't mean nothing to you eventually over time. Even when somebody is actually displaying that they care about you, or that it's true love, or it's really meaningful in your life, or something that's really of quality, you will never notice it and you will never recognize it because you're so used to it being backed up and certified from other people who ain't you. But if it's not repackaged in fancy words, you're not going to accept it as legitimate. There are so many people that I talk to and help, and so much positive prosperity that we even have in our own country, but in segments, that there are so many people who are ignorant in real truth, in real action, because it's not validated by somebody with a badge. It's not validated by someone who they're so used to holding their hand. You know, if mommy and daddy don't approve of it, they won't do it. And what I mean by mommy and daddy, I'm not talking about the biological parents. I'm talking about systematically. I'm talking about those who are in a position. I could say just your bosses, not of an organization, but the bosses in your life. You know, those who you consider to be your doctors, those who are your ministers and your pastors, those who are have some type of authority that you have allowed them to have over you, because they naturally don't, but you allowed it. Okay, you won't move forward until you get the approval from them, because you can't even approve yourself. You don't even have a mind of your own. So therefore, you constantly waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, how to dress, how to walk, put the mask on, stay at home, walk here, don't walk there. Don't eat this, eat that. Obey here. You need not to obey over there. This is what you should do with your dumb phone. This is what you should not do. This is how you sleep. You should not sleep this way. And guess what y'all do? Go for it. Ralph the dog. Go right along with it. So therefore, it has helped me with this particular basic principle that actions mean louder than words. I've been able to filter out those who are made of rotten, stanky ground beef that's been sitting on the counter all night long versus those who are freshly out of the cut off the cow, okay, or fresh from the freezer, however it's done. All right, I've been able to see what they're all about. I've been able to determine what woman is around me just because she's looking for a get up and a leg up versus those who are legitimately accurate. It's kind of funny that most of these women, and here's the funny thing about it is, a lot of women that I deal with, they have no idea where I come from, because what I do is I throw something out there to see what they are all about, and they have no idea. They got a thing called a SHIT test in men. All right. Red pill alpha Morpheus is the deterrent. When they come to me, they think that game plays the same way. So I purposely put on some dirty clothes or just something that looked like I worked at a blue collar, it's funny, a blue collar job. And I'll rent out a very, very, very small apartment or a very small room, or, I'll drive a raggedy car on purpose. Sometimes I say, well, I'm working on this and that. I'm not where I want to be at in life, and I'm kind of struggling. My finances it's okay. It's not best. I pretend like I'm going through some things, right? And I'm able to see exactly what she's into it for, what she's looking at me for, what she's looking for. And oftentimes I see their eyes wherever we are. I see their eyes roaming everywhere instead of looking at me. They're looking at, okay, this is where he brought me to. This is where he's at. Look at his shoes. Look at all. Is this what he's able to bring to me in my life? This is what he's capable of? And I'm sitting there smiling. She have no idea that she have been deflected, that it's been thrown back at her. The SHIT have been picked up off the ground and thrown right back at her in her face. Have no idea, because they think their game is so solid and so secure, that they're so conniving with their fancy words that us men ain't going to pick up on the actions that they permit from their schemes. I'm going to give you a double whammy story in this one. So it's going to be two messages in one. First of all, I want you to know I take my life seriously, and I definitely take my heart seriously. I take my feelings is not what comes first. Logic and wisdom do, but I'm still a man when it's all said and done. I have feelings, and I can love, and I have great potential that just isn't reached because there's no companionable, cooperative female in the current generations that we live in. Okay, so it's not that I can't do it. It's that I can't be at my full performance because there are low-hanging, low-performing type of women that we are currently dealing with. However, let me give you two stories, and I'm going to combine them together. I'm going to use one of my girlfriend situations, and I'm going to talk about one of my friends when it comes to talk is cheap. What I mean by filtering, when I say don't go by what you say, go by what you do. Right? So I met this girl. I did a cold approach, a type of, again, SIT tension, throwing it back at him, SHIT test, right? And I say, okay, let's see what will work in this certain scenario. So I was introduced to this so-called girl she wasn't a feminist, but she was so-called, she thought she was high class. She was too tough to get with, and she had unrealistic standards. I heard the entire rumor, blah, blah. Long hair, long legs, full of potential. And she was at a certain store. So my group of buddies, guys, they say, you know what, go in there and code a pro. Let's see what happens. Let's test this thing out. And if it happened to be something that's good, then let it be good. If she's interested in you, then I guess you just got you a girlfriend out of all this. But if not, I guess we're able to see it for exactly what it was. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a spin. I got a chance to evaluate the girl, and I thought she was attractive. Okay, a little bit of prospects there. Looked like she had some good youth to her, a little bit of fertility. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I walk up to her, and we're at this place where we're at this glass window. And she can see outside. You know, she's cleaning up the aisle, you know, grabbing box, stuff like that. It's kind of funny how she was like in this somewhat upscale store, but she's still working at a store, but she has high expectation. That's a funny thing. You know, she expect, I ain't even gonna go there. I'm gonna just follow me with the story. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Just know she was in this so-called upscale store, you know, sweeping floors and adjusting shelves, but yet she expect from me to to have six figures a year. But I approach her, I'm like, you know, give her my cold approach, you know, how you doing, exchange my name, I'm interested, you know, can we hang out, you know, are you available, sort of thing. But what I got from her, I can't go by the list of the things that I've said because it was such a while back, and I'm very clever with my words. I'm liable to say all kind of things. Whatever comes to my mind, I just, you know, throw it out there. But it was the modest, modern sort of interaction. Just see what happened. I'm just telling you, this is not what I do on the normal. I just did it for this situation. And she said, at the end, I was like, okay, so let's hang out sometime on the weekend. You know, I'll come and pick you up. And I pointed outside, and I purposely driven one of my buddy's old cars that he rarely even drive, had a little bit of rust on it. It wasn't a Honda. It was an old beat up Nissan, little bitty small car. And the bumper had a little color on it, you know, because it had like a little damage going on, because he had to replace it. So it was almost like the car was tan, but the bumper was like burgundy. You can tell that it just didn't match the car. So you know, that's my ride out there, and I'm pointing to it on purpose, right? So she can see it. I'm like, oh, you know, I got this, and I'll come in. That's my rider right there, and I can, you know, come pick you up weekend. And immediately she looked at me from the top of my head to the bottom of my shoes. And I purposely wore some like unnamed brand rickety type of boots. My pants wasn't even all that creased. Had my hair and my head all hidden, but I had like a rusty, like dirty, like cap on. So she can see that I was just like an average man. You know, I wasn't a six-figure type of dude. And realistically, I'm not a six-figure guy in real life. But in her immediately response was, you know, she was evaluating me based on my materials, right? And she started hesitating. She's like, well, I don't know. I'm not so sure. Well, I'll think about it. The occasional, I'll think about it. No, maybe. I don't know. What do you do for a living? Here we go. Listen. Here we go. I said, oh, I do things here and there. You know, I'll make ends meet. You know, every day. I do a regular 9 to 5 like anybody else. So what's it to it? She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure, because she's thinking now. She's thinking like, okay, what can I get out of this guy? Like, okay, clearly he drives a beat up car. Clearly he doesn't look like he's, you know, walking around in a nice suit on. He look kind of tethered up. And now he's not even telling me where he work at. But, you know, look at him. He's just, you know, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, let's exchange numbers. And, you know, is that cool? At least we can do that, right? You know, I can call you up or something like that. I guess. I don't know. Well, you know, I'm always here. Just come back and meet me again up here. And I'm thinking to my mind, she's basically saying, no, absolutely not. That's the nice way of putting men down. I'm like, okay. All right. She already evaluated me. She saw my car. I'm like, okay, deal. Got on the phone, like, okay, I know okay. I see what time it was. So I went ahead and walked out. Said, nope, no deal, same situation. I'm like, okay, made a phone call. One of my buddies called up. I told you about my friend that I'm saying no names, who got a Ferrari out in Orange County. And he let me borrow his Ferrari before. See, some of y'all think this is a joke. I know the shows that you be seeing about Gold Digger, y'all think it's funny. It's true. It's really true. You know, actually, it was last year we pulled up in a, what town was it? Let me remember. Last year we pulled up somewhere in Texas and did the same thing. But this time my buddy actually used a Dodge Viper. Okay, so you'll be surprised what I get myself into, because I take my life seriously. And I'm gonna go further than that. Me and this girl wasn't anywhere associated with each other, but I still find this to be a very intriguing thing altogether with research, right? So we get up together, and I'm thinking, okay, let's wait for it took us about a month for us to arrange this, because I had to do some traveling, and I had to get myself together because I had other business meetings and something like that, in order to get in contact with my friend down there in Orange County, because he was kind of busy too. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He got things going on, but he's like, yeah, you know, I'll let you borrow it. You know, what's happening? I gave him the spiel. He started laughing because we did it before. we did it with Dodge Viper. So he said, oh, so you're getting ready to tag one of those you getting ready to tag another female again. But yep, and you're ready to see what's up. This is going to be laughable. And I did not record this because I wanted this to be just an exclusive sort of ordeal. And I really don't want to embarrass females like that, you know, because they will really be on blast, and that it's just unnecessary. Sometimes people fake these sort of interactions because if they're truly embarrassed, whoever's in that situation can really be, you know, in an embarrassing situation. You know, their reputation will be ruined by being blasted like that. So everything I do is pretty much exclusive. However, so the day came, and I wanted to know if she still worked there. So I had one of my buddies go up there to see if she was actually at work, or see if she still worked there, because sometimes women will flip-flop from job to job to job. Okay. And so he calls me up and say, yeah, she's still here. And I'm like, okay, bet, deal, right? So this time I changed my clothes, right? I got on some nice crease pants. I pulled out my classic church shoes. I don't wear anymore to church because I don't go to church. But I still got some nice, decent casual shoes. Decent suit on, right? And my laid-back casual shirt underneath it. Did my hair pretty good, right? And that's when my buddy actually, you know, he drove his Ferrari up there, but he had to keep it exclusive, like in a trailer. So it's not going to be driven on the highway or the road for that long. So it has to be transported a certain way. And thanks be, because I couldn't afford all that type of stuff. But I'm glad that I have good friends around the country. You'll be surprised that men know how to work together nowadays. We're getting a little better on knowing how to support each other in these situations, because it's severe. You know, we got to change this idea around that we can just accept any old type of thing and think that we're going to have a prosperous future when man and woman is malignant towards each other and a malicious agent of destruction, whether we aren't because we're not coming together properly. We're coming together for the wrong reasons. So we need to dig this thing out and fix it. And sometimes things like this is fun. So I'm all giddy, a little bit nervous, because I know how many eyes I get. I know how many people are going to be looking at me like, this dude is in a what, and where does he work out? What kind of money he has, and this card, where you in all kind of pictures and stuff like that. Right. You know, I become the outshiner. So I'm nervous, not about driving the car. I'm nervous about how much attention that I will receive, because I'm not all about attention. I'm not all about that. And I get uncomfortable when it comes to that, unless I'm doing my teaching. I'm standing up in front of people and giving them a lecture. I don't have no problem with that. So I drive up there to the store where she worked at, and luckily the space is open again where the Nissan was. Y'all know where this story is going, but real life stuff. And so I park it sideways this time. It wasn't frontways, it was sideways, to let people know. Of course, they respect it anyway. It's an expensive car, a lot more expensive than theirs out there, their Carmen car. So if I put it sideways, they'd be like, well, he just don't want nobody parking next to him, it makes sense, right? In normal occasions. And so I walk in there, you know, you hear the doorbell ching, ching, you're looking around, seeing where she's at. And I purposely got her attention. The first lady who was at the cash drawer, I said, you need some help? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I said, I do need something, but I want so-and-so to help me. And I stood near the window as much as possible so she can actually see the car outside in broad daylight and see what I was dressing like. Okay, so I pretty much set it up pretty good. Guys was out there, just one of my guys out there laughing. The other guy couldn't make it. He was watching it over the phone. You know, he was actually watching everything. We was just, they was having a blast, like, oh, I can't believe this. So, you know, she show up, she come out, okay, she came back, little apron, cute little hair and a bobby or something like that, you know. And I'm like, I said, how you doing? And I looked her closer in the face, because she didn't quite recognize me the way I was dressed. So I looked at her even closer. I said, so how you doing? Like, what's up? You know, how are you doing? What's up? Oh, Mr. Oh, you're so-and-so. Oh, how are you? Like, I'm doing fine. So, you know, what's up? You know, how's your day? And here she go. She looks at me again from the top of my head to the bottom of my shoes. Immediately, you know, the gestures are fast. You'd be surprised how many people would do that. And it only takes a couple of seconds. It's a couple of seconds, you know, look at you and evaluate you immediately. And I'm like, yeah. So, you know, I was still thinking about, you know, taking you out, you know, for coffee, you know, get something to drink or something like that. And I know a little coffee shop that's, you know, somewhere somewhere in the city. You know, we can, you know, go through there, you know, take a little stroll around. She's like, oh yeah, you know, how are you going to do this? So I don't know. I said, and I pointed again outside. Do you see that right there? She's like, oh, what kind of car? Like, what is that? Like, what? I said, yeah, I said that other car that I had, I was just borrowing that for the weekend. You know, I thought we was going to go out there. I didn't want to scratch up my Ferrari. You know, I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to, pick you up in the Ferrari, but the other car, you know, I thought it would be a lot more better. It's good on gas and, you know, nobody ain't going to notice it. You know, I could scratch it up. She said, oh, okay. You still want to go out this weekend? I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm thinking that, maybe, this is Wednesday, you know, it's Friday, Saturday. How about Friday, you know, Saturday? You know, you want to come up and pick your friend? Wow, I like, what kind of car is that? A Ferrari? Like, yeah, hey, you know your car? So yes. Oh, nice. Can I go outside? Can I go sit in it? I'm like, is this your lunch break right now? I mean, are you allowed to? I don't know. I can ask my supervisor if I can go out there. I'm like, hold on. I'll say, hold on, wait a minute. I put my hands up, like, wait a minute. So you're okay. You're okay for us to go out now. You want some coffee and all that. Well, I think it's a good idea. I think we should. That car seemed like it's fun. I can jump in it. Let's ride. I mean, and I was like, okay, well, we haven't even exchanged numbers yet, you know, and last time you said you thought about it and, you want me to come back up here. So, I mean, we're going to exchange numbers and or something like, sure. You going to write it down here? I mean, you got a piece of paper or something like that? I say, yeah, I got something. I do got something. I went in my back pocket. I pulled out the paper that me and my buddy actually sat down and wrote on it. What it said on the paper is in big black ink, you are a fake and you are a downfall for a man's future. We don't want you as a parasite in our life. In big, bold, black letters. And it took her a couple of seconds to actually digest what was written on that piece of paper. And her mouth she was looking like what? And I said, you know what? I don't want your number. I don't want your number. As a matter of fact, I never want to even be here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go pick up a decent girl somewhere else that's actually worth my time and energy because she wants me for who I am. You know, I'm glad that we're not together and I wish I never met you. And walk right out the door. Boom. Gone. Brothers was laughing their cake off. They was out of them. And this girl know who she is because I made it absolutely clear during that time how disrespectful she was. Okay, and I don't have no videos up here, so it's not going to embarrass her, but she know who she is. Because she thought she was all high and mighty. She thought she was just this high standard type of female that deserved a high quality male. Okay, but she was wanting a high quality male based on her perception and based on her misjudgment of him. But she wasn't interested in trying to get to know me as a man. She was trying to get to know me as what I can do for her. She wanted to know me for my car. She did not even hesitate to try to go out to eat with me this time. Because she was able to see this nice fancy car sitting outside the window, right? And here I am standing in front of her with this nice creased suit, nice pants, looking all clean. She's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Okay, judging me for the way that I look, not judging me for who I am as a man. She didn't even give me, there wasn't even an exchange of a number before she was like, okay, I'll shoot, okay. I'm like, you know what? Get on. She know who she is. I have zero tolerance. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. Let me give you another example. another one of my girlfriends who was we actually went out somewhere, right? And when I did seal the deal, and I'm not talking about consummating, there was a girl who I associated with for quite some time, and she decided that, not she decided, I actually decided, for us to go out one day and say, okay, well, I got some place where we can eat at. I got like 30 minutes I can spare, right? And we go out to this place and, get some nice pasta. And we're sitting there eating. No, it wasn't Fazoli's. Ha, ha, ha. Stop laughing. Okay. It was somewhere else. This pasta was on the menu. Okay. They don't just sell pasta. Okay. And while we were there, she had like a half a glass of wine. Right. And she got to talking some stuff. I mean, she was like, yeah, I'm looking for a good man to love me for who I am. And I deserve a good man. And, I'm tired of being alone. And, all these men, they have very, very, very low standards. And, so many men are just ridiculous. They talk a lot of game, but they're not serious. I'm tired of playing games. And all I want to do is I just want to settle down with somebody who's a good man, has a good mind. And you seem like you do. It's like, you seem like you're an all right person. So she just was talking, blah, 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 promise, 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 feelings, 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 right? I said, okay, I know what time of day it is. And here I am. I'm going to throw it back at her. I'm going to pick up that pile of beans off the ground and smash it right back in her face. I got you. I'm like, I got you. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just a modest man. And I was being honest because that's who I really am. I'm a very modest man and I don't live up on my means. I don't really have a lot of prospects like, every other individual or every other dude. I don't want you to be disappointed because, I'm really not riding high. I got my own struggles and I live very modest. I may not be able to put you on an airplane and ship you around the world and show you all the finer aspects of the world and take you to a horizon. And, we run across the beach every week, every month or every year. So you might have to just settle for, a simple lifestyle, just the here and go type of thing. Can you do it? Yeah, I can deal with that. I mean, I'm okay with that. It sounds like a really good plan. I mean, you seem like you're a good guy. I'm okay. This seems fine. This seems okay. It's a good idea. I'm like, all right. She's talking a whole lot of jazz in my face, right? This half a glass of wine. Here I am. Got on the phone again. Called up one of my other buddies. I said, I need to use your apartment again. See, I got connections. I may not have it like other men do, but I will come up with some connections. I will be a MacGyver and I'll pick up the phone. I'll make a phone call to one of my brothers and say, we got another one. We got another fish who want to talk jazz, who want to we got to make them put their money where their mouth is. Okay, go ahead and do what you did before the apartment and make it really simple. And we'll see what she's talking about then. We'll see what she's talking about. Right. And, go ahead and pull out that Nissan again. go ahead and pull out that Nissan again. Loud muffler. Right. Go ahead. Right. She didn't see, actually, she did see me pull up with my black Lex, to be honest with you. She saw that. Okay, it was all clean and shiny. So she's like, oh, I kind of like this. Oh, this is, oh, that's what she's talking jazz, right? So when the party, well, it wasn't a party, but when the dinner was over and we walk out, hand in hand, she was dropped off by one of her girlfriends. Ha ha. Okay. And she thought I was going to walk to the Lexus, right? My friend already parked the car there. He left joking and laughing his butt off, right? And I was getting ready to walk I pretend like I was walking to my Lexus. I said, oh, well, I can't drive this out because my buddy's going to come and pick it up. She's like, what? What do you mean? I said, no, that's my friend's car. I was just borrowing it tonight because I just wanted to, I wanted to drive up here in something nice. I didn't want to look bad. She said, oh, so where's your car? It's over there. It's over there, right across the street. And there that is. Here we go. The Nissan again. Two-tone muffler, loud, dangling a little bit. Like, oh, okay. That's it right over there. Right over there. Come on. We walk up across the street. Oh man. Right. Y'all be thinking, dang, did Morpheus? Yeah, I did that. Because I'm serious about my life. I'm serious about my heart. What I do for men. I don't do it just for myself. We got to make this thing right. When I fight for men. We are dealing with this nonsense. We're dealing with women who just talk a whole lot of game, right? Oh, I want a good man and I want false accountability. But when it comes time to put money where their mouth is, can't do it. Can't do it. You got to judge them. You got to put them at their level. Give them what they want. Let their actions speak louder than their words. I don't play that. I'm serious and I'm severe. I am all the way through. I'm thorough in what I do. So we walk across the street, right? And we get to the car and oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Right. So she get to the passenger. I already know the door don't work. I already know it don't work. On purpose. This is the car that we use for testing people who got a big mouth, testing them to make sure that they are really serious about what they say. Women think they're the only ones who know how to run game. You be dead wrong. Men know how to do it better. We know how to do it better. We don't play that. You get with the right guy who's red pill, not blue pill. He'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, so you talking smack. I got smack for you then. OK, so the door was locked. It was actually busted. The lock didn't work on it. So dang, it's like, I said, oh, you have to crawl in from the driver's side over here. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. So here she is getting on the other side with her prissy dress on, right? Knowing full well she don't wear a dress every day. She's only wearing it on occasion. She looked like she's the type of girl who wear yoga pants, tight, revealing clothes to objectify herself, right? So I'm looking at her like, yeah, right. I see plenty of bodies like you every day. Whatever you're trying to show, I've seen that before. I can go to sleep and see that. I can brush my teeth with it in the morning. So you're not showing me that I never saw it before. It's just best to be modest, dressed like you a woman, to stop trying to pretend like you something you're not. Right. That's my thinking as she's crawling over the chair, revealing all kind of stuff, dress hiking up. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just get on in there. Let's see where this is going to lead at. Right. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh, wow. So. All right, I go ahead and fire the engine up, and all you hear is the muffler. Right, she's like, dang, look. She don't seem kind of happy now. Look like she's almost sober. Right, she put the seatbelt on, and seatbelt barely even worked. Right, and I'm pulling out. You can hear the steering wheel creaking when it turns. While I'm reversing to get out of there, right? And she's looking around like, oh, okay, like, she got her arms crossed this time. Whenever a woman's arms is crossed, that's never a good sign, gentlemen. That's a bad sign. That means she's really not comfortable. She really don't like where she's at. That's the beginning phase of her trying to make herself very, very small because she don't want to be there. When she crosses her arms, that's the beginning of your sorrows. Please believe. Okay. I had to take my red pill on that one. I know you heard me take that swig, right? So, plus clear my throat. So we get to the house. It took me like 45 minutes to get there. To my house, it probably would have taken maybe about 50 minutes or so. Not quite an hour. Because I went quite a ways, quite a distance. Plus my house is, it's in a special place anyway. Because I'm driving to his apartment because he's somewhere else at the time. Laughing his butt off because he know what time of day it is. Whenever us brothers say, hey, we need to use the car, we need to use the apartment, then you know what time it is. You know what time it is. And no, it's not to do anything dastardly deed. If not, why would I be putting this on YouTube? No, nothing like that. Okay, again, it's just testing her to see if she says she want a good man. She want to live a modest life, right? I love you for you. You're just a good man. You got a good personality. Okay, yeah, what a joke. Because a personality for women is money. It's what you got to offer them. It's how you are dressed, and it's what kind of dollar you can put on the table. Not about you as a man. That's how you men need to know that you are just a walking ATM. You need to realize this. So we get to the house, and it's like just this, compact, like sardines type of place, right? Very, very small. And Was this? Yeah, it was an apartment complex, like sardines, all compact. This cul-de-sac type of place. Cars look kind of raggedy. It wasn't a bad neighborhood. It just really wasn't as grandeur as a person will want to, associate a person with, or think that it's a future prospect. Okay, 'cause there's more to do, like houses, owning land, and stuff like that, which I'm all about. But so we get out of the car. I open up the car door. She crawls, driver's side seat. You know how the scenario go. And I'm closing the door. You hear the rickety slam of the door. Boom. And she just sitting there looking. She's looking around, her arms folded. Like, you okay? We're just gonna get inside and talk. You worried about anything? And I could actually say that with 120% confidence. Anybody who's with me, whether they are my buddies, whether they're women or children, no matter where we are, they're gonna be safe. I'm gonna take care of my people. They don't have nothing to worry about. So she was, that's not much what she's worried about. She's more looking about, what was she getting herself into, what type of prospects I had. So I get into the foyer of it, and we walk up the stairs, right? And you can smell the food of other residents there, or occupants of the apartment. So the hallway don't smell all that good because you got all kind of people cooking, and it smells like toilet feed thereafter. So we get in there, I'm just like scrambling around. I got the keys that he left underneath the seats on purpose. Now I get in the house. It's very simple stuff. It's very small. You would think that it was a trashy apartment. It really wasn't. He set up pretty nice, where it's like a decent table in the corner. You got a little small TV set, floor model, not a flat screen model. Very simple stuff. Nothing that would stand out as poor and struggling, but it was just very simple. Very modest, sensible. Maybe somebody could actually live into it and everything be all right. I wouldn't. It's too much. It's too small for me. I need I got a house and I got stuff to do. Businessman, I can't deal with a room that small. But so we get in there, and I, pull out a table and give her. And I pull out a glass where she can drink something. We sitting there talking, and the trippy part about it is all I could see was her eyes was looking around, and she could barely keep her eyes on me. She's like, "Oh, so this is your place?" I say, "Yeah, this is, I've been renting this apartment for about 2 years. And, like I said, I live a very modest lifestyle. I don't really have a lot of money like that, but I still know how to pick and choose what I spend my money on. But I'm just here for right now until I upgrade to do something else. This is just for right now. It's just temporarily until I get better. See, at my job, I'm trying to get a promotion. I'm trying to make more money. I'm trying to do for myself. So I want to be modest. So, the woman I need in my life is at least going to have to at least wait until I make my success, and, at least wait for me, work with me as I'm building my life in this rainbow. Don't try to meet me at the end of the rainbow and get the gold at the end of the rainbow. Why don't you try to help me with this rainbow, right? And she's looking around. I knew that she wasn't paying too much attention to what I was saying, because she was too busy looking at the carpet, looking at how big the window was. And in her mind, in some women's mind, is, okay, can I bring a child into the situation? Or can I build off of this? Can I get something from this? Can this be something that can benefit me? Can I deal with this for a short amount of time? Right? And so I did what I could to steer the conversation to a moderate like conversation by talking about other things and some things that I like. Right. I'm purposely throwing stuff out there because I think there was something that our big brother Tom Likas said in one of his lessons and teachings. He said, if you really want to find a woman who's going to be there for you, don't lie to her. Just give her the Shangri-La. Don't tell her everything, but just be honest and just put the book out there. Right. Just slam it on out there, whether she take it or not. So what? If she don't take it, find somebody else. Right. So I used that measure and started throwing stuff out there, see what she do with it. Right. Like, yeah, I didn't tell her nothing about my exes. That's not what you do. Nothing like that. Nothing that will turn a girl off and think that, something's wrong with me or that she needs to run out of the house. But simple real life expressions of me being a very simple, common man. a guy who doesn't make a lot of figures per year, a man who's possibly blue collar, someone who's trying to succeed and make it up the ranks. This is a very simple, modest life, as I explained at the restaurant. And she was rather confused because she was like, okay, how can you afford going to an expensive restaurant like that? And you got on some decent clothes, but yet here you are in this apartment and you're driving this this contraption of a Nissan. How could you do that? And that's where her confused, but she didn't say it. I can just tell it was in her eyes. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this confused. So I'm like, you know what? I really want to go, and I move in anyway in the conversation. I'm like, so I rather want to go ahead and take this relationship steady. If you want to do this one day at a time, I think we can. There's no need to rush. We can hang out. Eventually we may grow to be something, and just take this one thing at a time. We don't have to rush it. Let's just hang out, be friends, and see what happens. She's like, yeah, that's all. I think we can do that. And okay. Well, I got other things to do, and I did have did have a good time. And here she go trying to close the deal. I did have a good time tonight, and I got to go to work Monday, so I need to go home and get some things together. But I really had a good time. I'm like, yeah, I'll drive you back to the house, And of course, that ended up being a lengthy type of travel after that, and dropping the car off, going back to get my Lexus and going back. Yes, it was a little bit of a labor, and it was a little bit of a task. Okay, but I had to do that in order to protect myself and to see if she was really all about it. If she was all about really being a modest, modern, common, sensible, I can work with you type of girl, where we can collaborate with each other and we can peer bond, not based on her trying to get me for whatever that I had in my prospects, because clearly she was looking for a financial get up. Because a week from that, I waited for a little while. I don't call the day after. No, I wait for a little while. I don't sit there and try to harp at the type of person, because you got to play the game right. So I wait for an entire week and I call her up. And I'm still joking, because I know what I threw out there, because I wanted to see if she survived, then maybe there may be something. We still hang out afterwards. Or still want me to pick her up, and she want to hang out at my so-called apartment. Then she may be really telling the truth, where she just wants a sensible individual or man who's going to love her for who she is and live a decent lifestyle. That doesn't mean we have to live poor. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is somebody who's just going to be sensible and not all about what she can get from him, what she can pilfer from him, and that he has to have a certain status. Because this girl, she wasn't from a modest family. She had things going on for her. She did have a very upstanding environment where she was at. Okay. Family made a little bit of money, made some good money, so to speak. And she was looking for, in her mind, high quality. And high quality in most women's mind is, I want you to be at my status or above that. Okay. And I'm looking for a certain range of your financial income per year, per month, whatever. Like, if it's not like that, then I can't look at you as a living being. I only look at you as a insignificant. You are lower than I am. She was that type of individual based on her environment, but I didn't want to judge her. See, I don't judge. Even I don't judge a book for their color. So I give them a chance to put their money where their mouth is. She was the one that threw out there that she was, I'm all about you. You are so smart. You're so kind. All I want is just a modest, decent man to love me for me. And I'm tired of playing games, and I don't need all that money. I don't care about trying to get over on my man. I just want to be with him. Because I threw some scenarios out there to her. I did. I told her about all the evil stuff that other women are doing. Right. She said, I'm not like that. I would never do that. I'm like, that's what got the kicker going for me. That's why I was like, okay, let me make a phone call. Oh, okay, I'll make a phone. Let me see. Let me make you put your money where your mouth is, because I don't play that game. Let's see how real you are. Let's go in the boxing ring. Let's do it. Let's see how good your uppercut really is. You talk good game. Let's see what your game is all about. So the week later, of course, when I called her up, oh, how you doing? Oh, you're okay, Mr. Papa. Like, okay, so let's hang out. I got some time this coming weekend. I haven't seen you in a while. I kind of miss you. Let's go hang out. Just say, I don't know. Here we go. I got other things to do. Uh-oh. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I got other things to do. I'll call you back when I get freed up. I know some of you men heard that before. Some of you women say it before. Some of you women do that. Yeah. I don't know. I got other things to do. Maybe I'll think about it, but when I'll give you a call. I'll call you back. like some interviewers, some jobs for some of you, right? They'll say, well, we'll call you when we hire you, we'll call you. We give you the phone call. And if you don't ever hear the phone call, that means they're saying no. Like, just a light way of putting you down. They don't want to say no. It would be best if people were honest and say, I was thinking about it and I thought about it. No. Okay, but some people aren't harsh like that. They'll just let you linger on and be like, oh, I don't know. Just be expecting a phone call that you'll never get. Okay, because she was actually sincere about that, because every time after that, again, when I would make the phone call, she would brush me off, make excuses, make other plans. List goes on. So I'm still evaluating the situation from afar. I'm a very patient man, not a stalker. No, I'm talking about when you calling somebody up, they don't call you, they're not interested, and they keep flicking you off sort of idea, right? So push come to shove. Fortunately, I didn't say unfortunately, which is a good thing. When I did get the opportunity to talk to her, okay, and ask her how come we never went out again, and how come she didn't want me to pick her up anymore, no more restaurant, and what happened to us trying to hook up and be a sensible relationship. At first, she started making excuses that she had other things to do and other ideas of life. Okay, and then she started making even more excuses about how she was trying to look forward to a different future, and her family wants her to do other things. Basically, she was saying that I was in her class, basically. Okay, and her excuse again was, oh, I'm busy. I got other things to do. My family's staying this and this and that, dot. Because so many people, listen, what did I just tell you? Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. This is the lesson of the day. This is why I tell you, words don't mean jack spit to me. I'm going to get you by your action. Don't tell me about who you are, what you're all about. Your actions mean more than anything else. You get that? Oftentimes you will receive that often, especially even on your wedding day, when you meet the person or you go out and the person start drinking a little bit, when the truth comes out and that wine start hitting them, or liquor, and they talk all kind of jazz. I mean, they will blast your ear for a good hour and a half, talking all kind of spittle, right? But when it comes time with the real deal, when it comes time to really put your money down, put some skin in it, when it comes time to really be face to face with what you talking about, they can't do it. They cower. They change their mind. Oh no, I can't. No, I can't do it. I can't. No, I'm just no. No, it's just too hard for me. No, maybe I was just drunk. Maybe I was just, feeling for that moment, as they usually do. Emoji. For the moment, right? So let's go further with this, and this might be one of the last examples for you. There's other examples that some of you may experience, but these are very good stories, and I like to entertain you a little bit with real life scenarios that really happen. So I always and constantly want you to know and realize that a lot of things you see on YouTube, even though you think it's scripted, that stuff really happens. People, they may create a script on YouTube to entertain you, but it's actually happening in someone's life. It happened to me on various occasions. There's been true gold digger moments for me. All right. There's been true real life situations that have conspired right in front of me. So even if they're putting on a scenario before you, even though they are acting, people are actually doing that in real life. So it's actually a real life scenario and a real life lesson when people on YouTube or in red pill society is teaching you. These women do stuff like this, happens all the time. And it also taught me a little bit more about the common modern woman, what she is looking for. And she is full of talking, full of Mexican beans. Okay. And I'm not talking about the one in the can. So I had this buddy of mine, and of course this one's a dude, and he was talking about how us brothers need to stick together, and he'll look out for me. And this is one of the guys who was somewhat in my neighborhood, that is a couple of streets, well, he's like one street away from me, like on the other side. And he's always out there every now and then washing his motorcycle and, driving his car. And he has his little wife that he deals with every now and then. But he's like a shut-in type of man because he's married. I can tell that he's already getting to the point where he's whipped by her. Okay, but he claims to be tough. He claims to be, a man. He claims to pretend to be something that he's not. So he see me out there with all kind of associates, going places, doing things, washing my Lexus, talking to children and helping people or not. And so he wanted to know just a little bit more about me. And I told him, just for advertisement, what I do, helping, mentoring, physical trainer, martial arts, stuff like that, pretty much getting in everything. And he called himself trying to put his chest out. So he's like, yeah, man, we need to stick out for each other. Us men need to. I'm thinking to myself, how could you married, dude? I'm like, come on. I'm like, you sold your soul like 14, 15 years ago, and you standing up trying to be a man. I'm like, that's fine. I respect you. This is what I'm saying in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, but you're suspicious. You're suspicious. You talking a lot. You talking like you're still like you my age, or you like 25 years old or something like that. You really talking like you really know what you're talking, that you got your home under control. I'm like, okay. Like, man, if you ever get some mail or anything, you let me know. You ever get some boxes, I know that you be getting boxes for your studio outside. I'll be seeing you out there every now and then with your speakers up and, you're just talking. But, if you need some help, I'll be there. We need to look out for each other, man. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. How am I going to deal with this situation? Okay, clearly this guy is saying that he's dependable. Clearly he's trying to say, well, he could be a good friend of mine. Good stuff. Like, okay, all right, I'll rise to your occasion. I'm like, okay, let me make you put your money where your mouth is. I don't play that game. I told you. Action speaks louder than words. I'm gonna look at you and be like, oh yeah? Really? Oh, you wanna do that there? You wanna do that there? Okay, all right then. Okay, fair enough. I said, you know what? Okay, let's see. I got a package coming in Wednesday. It's a pretty hefty box. This box is like 25 pounds and you can't miss it. UPS is going to show up at like between 12 and 2 o'clock. Okay. So most likely they're going to be there like maybe 1:30. All right. You're like, oh yeah, man. I don't have to work that time of day. Yeah, I'll be looking out for it. Okay. I'll do that. I can do that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Just this manhood type of thing. I can do it. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see, punk. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. You fail me this time. It's over. I don't play that. Zero tolerance. Once you fail this test, it's over. You're not dependable. Like my other brothers and buddies that call up for the apartment in the Nissan, I can depend on them. Pick up the phone, text them. It may be a while. It may be a few minutes, but they will text back and say, oh, it's that time again, bro. Or, oh, you need the apartment. Oh, you need this. Okay, I'm there right now. Okay. Okay, deal. Cool. All right. We'll be there. 5 minutes. All right. I can do that. Give me a few minutes. Bam. That's the type of guys they are. That's what I need in my life. That's the type of support I need. And we are thick like that. So the same thing. If they need something from me, I'm like, okay, we have 15 minutes, 20. I'll be there. Okay, right. Fine. Okay. Right. And we don't waste each other's time. That's the thing too. I like this expression that, and I don't watch Oprah Winfrey. I really don't. But she said something that made a lot of sense amongst everything else she says. She said, if you want to be successful and you want to be the best person of yourself, or best version, she didn't say it like that, but basically something like that. She said, you want to surround yourself with people that support you. You want to surround yourself with people who can help you in your cause. You want to surround yourself with successful people. You want to surround yourself with those who has the means to help you in your life. And that's the very most powerful thing that a person said. And I think when George Bush was in office, young George Bush, and disregard to him or whatever he had going on, but a wise man also said this about George Bush. He said, well, he may not be a good president or he has his issues, but he surrounds himself with people who do think. He surrounds himself with people who has their head on their shoulders. So if he makes a mistake, or if he's not so sharp in his language, or whatever decisions he make, he has good advisors and people that are surrounding him. So therefore, that was also powerful when that person said that. It's the same in our personal life. When you surround yourself with like-minded individuals that understand your struggle, who will help your struggle, and who's dependable, who's not going to be lackluster, who will motivate you, who will give you inspiration, right? People who are serious about your cause, the same as you serious about theirs, you can really get somewhere. And how I make that happen is my programs that I'm just telling you now. Me putting people through the SHIT test. Because I'm going to filter you. I'm going to say, oh, you talking bunch of smack, and I'm going to fix you real fast. As soon as it come out of your mouth, I'm going to be like, okay, it's go time. Go time. Okay, because I want some action. Talk is stupid. Talk is real stupid. We can talk all day. Talking is fine. I do that here at the Academy of Wildman to teach. But sometimes that'll help you, and it's going to make somebody else powerful. That's my way to convey to you. But that is the most weakest form of power, and it's the smallest, insignificant form of power. Action is what it's really all about. In doing what you say you're going to do, it's even more formidable. And there's a lot of people who don't do what they say they're going to do. They talk a whole lot of mess because they want to sound good, but they're not good. They're nothing when you meet them. They're nothing as they say that you are, or they say that they are. I don't live like that because I'm serious about myself, and I get things moving by making sure that it is properly exactly what it is. Don't tell me it's 5-star because that's what you think it is. I'm going to check it out to see if it's 5-star for myself. Don't tell me it's certified and approved by, JB Hunt and Power Associate have approved it because it's so great. I'm be like, no, okay, yeah, that's nice. Thank you. I will keep that as a rule of thumb in the back of my mind. I'm going to keep that as a manual that I can look at every now and then as a possibility, but I'm going to be the one to check it out for myself. I don't need you to tell me that this thing is of quality. I want to know that this thing is of quality by my own principles, because my principles come first, not yours. Whatever your principle is and how you judge and have some type of guideline or evaluation is based on what you think. You're not me. I go by what I think and what my evaluation is. Therefore, it's going to be tailored towards me based on my accepting it or rejecting it. So the day comes and Wednesday come. Before it came, I think it was the Wednesday morning, I reminded you, okay, my package is going to be there between 12 and 3 o'clock. Are you going to be able to 12 and 2? Are you going to be able? Oh yeah, man. I'll be looking out, man. Yeah, I'm just going to be outside. I'm going to wash my car. And if I see a UPS truck come through, when he drive up your driveway, I know what time it is. No, okay. I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm gonna test this dude out. I'm gonna test him out so I can join him to my ranks. All right, like the military here. This is Morpheus military. I'm gonna see what you all about. I'm gonna put you through the ranks. I'm gonna put you through boot camp, right? Because I don't need failures in my life. I do not need failures, and I'm not interested in signing up people who are going to be infiltrators to my own success, because you'll be a problem for me if you're a failure. If you're lackluster, if you just like those individuals who are on the highway driving like they have nowhere to go, they're confused, they're insatiable. Well, I can't say insatiable. They're senseless. Right? They got all the devices, GPS everywhere up the wazoo, but yet they're still standing there. I don't know where I'm going. Okay, I don't need you in my life. Don't waste my time. Get out of my face. So I'm like, okay, let me see what happens. So I said, okay, call me if the package show up. Okay, I'll call you. I'll have it at my house, and I'll, have it in the garage. You can come back. I'm okay. Okay. All right. So I go by my daily day, doing my business, going around places, talking to people, waiting, right? I didn't get a phone call. Immediately, I know how my program works. If I don't get a phone call, we got a problem. All right. I set myself up to where I know how things are operating in my world and my house. I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't on my game, if I wasn't crossing my T's and dotting my I's. I know what time of day it is. I don't fool myself. Either it is or it isn't. OK, I am my greatest judge. Did you hear what I said? I am my greatest judge. I am my greatest judicial system. I am my worst corrections officer. The worst police officer I can ever meet is myself. When I put the mallet on myself is worse than what anybody else can do. I judge me, so I make sure I keep myself in line. So therefore, my system is the same way. That way, I make sure that everything is right for Morpheus. You know, too bad a lot of other people don't know how to think like that. It's called having self-control and knowing how you line up to yourself and your own standards of living. People who need to be, dangled and controlled and told what to do and need to abide by certain rules are those who are unruly. They have no self-control and they're dishonorable by themselves. And they're no different than some dog or some mutt, some mangy mutt who needs to be put down. So I let it linger and no phone call. So I wait till 5 o'clock. And I'll call up and his wife picks the phone. Uh-oh. Okay. Hello. Oh, you're Mr. C. Oh, my husband. Oh, he fell asleep. Do you want to call back later? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm livid now. Now I'm livid. Falls asleep. To me, this is like we are in the military and you are in my boot camp and you're out there jumping into wheels. You are in the obstacle course, but you decide to go to sleep. You decide to sit down on the side. A drill sergeant will not tolerate this. You will be sent home immediately. Whatever you're trying to do, they'll be like, no, you leave. Come back here when you grow up as a man. Come back when you are ready. Come back when you find your testicles, little boy. Don't come here with your childish mentality. Go home and play on your Pokemon and your Mario Brothers because you're not ready for the real deal out here. The moment you sit down, oh, I can't do it, then you're not ready. I'm too tired, then you're out of shape. You don't need to be here. Go find some kiddie camp somewhere because you don't belong here in the military. You need to go somewhere else. We need fighters. We need strong people here with strong soldiers. You can't even protect yourself, let alone any civilian. Get out of here and get out of my face. That's my mentality. You see what I mean? That's my expectation, my principles, and it will not break. That's just who I am. Definition of alpha. So, and though I haven't been in the military, this is who I am. Okay. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. I get home at like 6 o'clock, right? No package, no nothing, no phone call. I didn't even want to call him back. So I call up to see where the package is. And I get the lady. She said, well, yeah, we tried to. Well, actually, I get the note at the door. First, that's the first thing you get is a note at the door. Oh, we attempted to drop off your package, but we just missed you. I'm like, okay, I'm already standing there. I'm on fire. Right? So he's already cut off. As a matter of fact, after 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I was looking at the clock. I said, okay, he's done. He's worthless. I can't depend on this dude. He's done. He's just like the rest of the common rabble that is going to be a problem. He's just like the rest of the people who is a discontent sort of dissension of quality. And no, I can't do it. The principle is surround myself with people who are a lot more sharper than that. He didn't even have to go to work that day. No excuses whatsoever. Just no. So I had to go ahead and go through some measures, go down there and give my tracking number, to go pick up the box, go out of the way, right? Go get this box where I didn't have to do it, have to fit it in the Lexus, find some way to do it. Really oblong, strange looking shaped box. for my products that I use. And I get it home, and apparently he felt sort of out of place because he didn't call me back the whole day. After 8, 9 o'clock, nothing. But he called me back the next day at around 3 o'clock. And he talked about, well, we didn't see the package yesterday. I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking to myself, well, no. They'd be nice. Brains. Like, no, we really? Like, yeah, like we do, duh. Like, what do we expect, though? Yeah, that's why what do you expect? Huh? But now I'm like, oh, okay. All right, yeah, brains, right? Well, I'm sorry, man. I fell asleep around 12 o'clock, and I guess I slept too long, because, I was kind of tired, when I woke up, it was like, a little late. I thought, I guess I just didn't get the package, I just didn't get the package. I'll make it up to you sometime. I guess I was just slipping. I'm thinking, okay, fine. And I kept it short. That's just how I am. When you're done for, I'm not gonna waste my time. It's like, okay, that's cool. All right, get you some rest. Being sarcastic. Get you some rest. Have a good day. Oh, all right, man. What you got planned for tomorrow? No, okay. I got things to do. All right. No, just get you some rest. Take care. Yeah, goodbye. Hang the phone up. By then he's done. There's no need. So here on out, that's been like several months ago. Here on out, okay, there's nothing. There's nothing I'm going to depend on him for. I wouldn't even ask him to pick up newspaper from my front. No, I wouldn't ask him for a thing. I wouldn't even ask him what time it is. There's no point in having a conversation with him. I wouldn't even ask him what tomorrow's going to be like. I don't do it because I'm at zero tolerance. And should he ever, and I'm waiting for the day when he will ever, and he probably already knows, that's probably why it's been silent for quite some time. He already knows that he messed up because a lot of people know who I am. They know how I operate. They know I'm at zero tolerance. So he knows he messed up. He messed up already, and there's no returning from that. There's no returning. I don't play that type of game. And so the standard still exists where talk is cheap. Action means more than anything. And a lot of people like to just talk. A lot of people they promise what they can't deliver. All the way up to the politics, all the way up to your bosses, all the way up to your jobs, all the way up to your supervisors, even to your wives and your husband. Oh, well, I'll do this, baby. I promise you I will never hurt you. I will never divorce you. I will never get alimony. I will never sign up for child support. I will never do this. I will never. But we are the dumbed down donkey morons who actually accept them by their words. That's the key agent here. This is why I brought up the idea, and it's not about JD Power and Associates. I don't know too much about them. It's not about them. I'm using this as a prop in a lesson. Whenever you hear somebody say, well, it is certified because of JD or whoever else said it's great. Okay, you still have to be like, I don't know anything about them. They are not me. They're not watching my life, nor do they know what my standards are. So why would I care that you're trying to produce something based on what somebody else? And it's still just talk. It's still just talk, and you go by it. When people are promising you something they can't deliver, it's still talk. And when it comes to certain movements, certain cultures talking about, oh, we need to be liberated. We need to be powerful. We need to come together. We need to help our own people. We need to create a school. We need to create a bank. We need to blah, 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 BS, SHIT, stuff, right? I'm the one sitting back saying, yeah, you talk good. You sound good. You had a lot of emotion behind it, but you are doing nothing. And nothing is what we are happy with, because all we love to do is hear people talk. All we love to do is hear people talk jazz about what they can do, what they're going to do, what their promises are. You know, we're going to bring new policies here. We're going to bring jobs here. We're going to do this. I'm going to do that. Come, promise I'm going to do this. Okay, come the new year 2021 and 22, we're going to have this type of program, and your children are going to have this to take care of, and we're going to teach them that, and they're going to have this, and we're going to be able to do that, and they're going to be better over here, and we're going to have a good infrastructure over here, and then we're going to do, and then we're going to do, and then we're going to do. 7 years later, nothing. Absolutely not. So use this power in your own personal life. Stop dealing with people of nonsense. Stop just listening to people. Talk don't mean spit. And I'm talking about in your personal relationships. I'm talking about people who you follow as your leaders. I'm talking about those who you vote for. I'm talking about those who you are seeking to get some type of validation from. Talk don't mean nothing. Stop talking about it. Be about it. And you stop talking about it and you be about it yourself, like your promises. Oh, come the new year, I'm going to try to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to try to write a book. I'm going to try to be successful. I'm going to be a better dad. I'm going to be a better husband. I'm going to be a better wife. I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to create my own business. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. And just do it. Stop talking about it. Get it done. Do you understand? Send it. If you can't send it, shut up. That's the bottom line.